All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Welcome
afternoon.
to Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to our Bridging the Gap Youth Support webinar. Today is Tuesday, May the 13th, and we are going to go ahead and get started. We have a number of panelists here today, in which I will allow each of you to introduce yourself here momentarily. But I wanted to greet everyone and just say that we are so excited to have you all here today as we come together to discuss solutions, share resources, and empower the youth in our community. I'm Mallory Miner, the court administrator here at the Municipal Court of Stonecrest, and it is truly an honor to guide this important conversation featuring our municipal court and also the juvenile court of DeKalb County. Today, we will be exploring impactful programs and initiatives designed to guide and uplift our young people, addressing the challenges that each of our young people face today. During this webinar, we will share actionable insights, introduce you all to valuable resources, and encourage a collaborative dialogue. We'll be running polls. You all will have the opportunity to answer some questions, to hear ideas. So be ready to join in on the conversation and make your voice heard. Your participation is integral to bridging the gap and fostering a positive change. Thank you for your time and being a part of our community effort. I am confident that you all will leave today's webinar feeling inspired. So let's go ahead and get started. And I want to allow our panelists, all from the DeKalb County Juvenile Court, starting with our court administrator, Mr. Colette O.D. Nigbo, to introduce himself and his staff. Mr. Colette?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you. My name is Mr. Colette Odenibu. I'm the court administrator for the DeKalb County Juvenile Court. It is an honor to be here today, Ms. Mallory. I want to thank you for this partnership and the beginning of this initiative that we're trying to do to inform our citizens of the various services that we have in DeKalb County. So I'm pleased to be here. Thank you.
You're on mute.
All right, so we're going to allow the additional panelists to introduce themselves. We're going to start with Erica Green.
Good afternoon. My name is Erica Green, and I'm the supervisor in the programs department at DeKalb County Juvenile Court.
Okay, Charmaine Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charmaine Brown, and I am a juvenile program administrator for the youth diversion program here at DeKalb County Juvenile Court.
All right, thank you. Waylon Jones.
Good afternoon. My name is Waylon Jones. I am the JPA for the CAP program here at the Juvenile Court. Thank you.
Thank you. Aisha Paraham.
Yes, my name is Aisha Paraham, and I am the JPA over the Smart Girls program.
Awesome. And last but not least, Nathaniel Jones.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Jones. I'm the Juvenile Program Administrator for the Youth Build 2 program.
All right, fantastic. So we are going to start off with a quick poll. I'm going to launch the poll to kind of get a feel for what you all would like to see to better prioritize juveniles or the youth in our community. So our first poll question is up. What area should we prioritize to better support our youth in the community? What area should we prioritize to better support our youth in the community? All right. We're almost at 100%. We have 4 choices here: expanding additional resources, enhancing mentorship programs, increasing access to mental health services, and improving recreational activity and spaces. So we'll give everyone just a moment to take the poll. And I think that we have 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and provide the results. All right, so let me share the results here. At 27%, we have expanding educational resources, 45% enhancing mentorship programs. I love that. 9% increasing access to mental health services, and 18% improving recreational activities and spaces. So I'm glad to see that all of you had an opportunity to respond. And it's interesting that we have, these different responses, but we will learn how each of these selections will work in conjunction with one another to best support our community and our youth. So without any further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started with our presentation. We have, first, we're going to start with our YDP program. So we have Charmaine Brown and Miss Erica. I know she is going to assist with the PowerPoints. So whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and share. Thank you.
I can't find my mute button. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Odenabo, did you want to go through these slides?
Okay, I could do the very first two. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. I don't know what's going on with my iPad. So, we are DeKalb County Juvenile Court. We are an independent court that have jurisdiction over DeKalb County youths who are in violation of offenses under the age of 16. Juvenile court, we have 5 judges. We have 6 pro tem judges and 85 employees that cater to the needs of our residents here in DeKalb County. DeKalb County Juvenile Court, in our mission statement, the critical things that we cater for is to protect the interests of the youths, to redirect, and to support families in our court. Next slide. We have a variety of services here in DeKalb County, and DeKalb County Juvenile Court is divided into 4 sections, into 4 divisions. We have the court administration, the intake program, grants and program, the clerk's office, and probation. And all these things are contained in our organizational chart, as you can see. Next slide. Okay, Ms. Brown, you can take it from here.
Okay. Yes, my name is Charmaine Brown, and I want to thank Ms. Mallory for allowing us to participate in this partnership and introduce to you what it is that we do here at DeKalb Juvenile Court. My name is Charmaine Brown, and I am the JPA, which is the Juvenile Program Administrator for the Youth Diversion Program. The Youth Diversion Program is for youth with first-time misdemeanor offenses. It's not for youth who continuously get in trouble, but it's for our first-time youth. How do we receive referrals from these outside agencies? Our referrals actually go to our intake department or the DA's office, and then the referral is submitted to my supervisor, who then reviews the cases and then assign these cases to me, to the youth diversion program. Some of the common misdemeanors are listed. I won't read all of them, but if you just follow along with me. Fray, which is fighting, simple battery, unruly child, shoplifting, terroristic threats, and other misdemeanors. But the majority of the misdemeanors I have are coming from the public school. At least 95% come from the public school, and maybe the other 5 from the community. How do I actually receive these cases? As I stated, I receive these cases from my supervisor, and I must make a point of contact with parents when I first get these cases. I do this within 1 to 3 days, and I call the parent. And when I call the parent, there are different ranges of emotions. I receive highs and lows from the parents. I receive from some parents, they're very transparent in what their child has done, the offense they have committed, and they're willing to work with me, as well as I deal with parents who are not as receptive. And sometimes what I do, because it's not about me, it is about our youth, I just listen to the parent and allow them to go through their range of emotions. And I explain to them that in order for me to dismiss a charge, that the child really need to participate in the program. And at the end of the program, if they successfully complete the program, the case will be dismissed. So, like I stated, I'm working with the parents actually to staff these cases also. And once I staff the case for the panel hearing, along with the parent and letting me know what day they are available, they come in and we hear these cases with a panel member. Our panel members are individuals who live in DeKalb or actually work in DeKalb, who are sworn in officials of the court. We're not just getting people off the street to just hear cases. These individuals go through training, and they have a love for what it is they do here for DeKalb Juvenile Court and working with our youth. We actually meet, and we meet from 15 to 20 minutes prior to the family attending the panel hearing, so we can all be in sync when the parent comes. We actually read the case together. The assignments, or what we consider as sanctions, are put in place, and we're ready to invite the family in. When the family comes in, we introduce ourselves. We want our families to feel as comfortable as possible. So we introduce ourselves, we tell them what it is that we do. I give them an overview of the youth diversion program, although I've already talked to the family members maybe twice prior to coming, because I want them to feel as comfortable as possible. And then after we introduce ourselves and the families have introduced themselves, it is important for me to present the acknowledgement of rights to the parent, because a parent does not have to sign the acknowledgement of rights. That is the first thing that needs to be done, is that signature is needed in order for me to hear the case. I can say 98% the parent is going to be all in and want their child to participate in this youth diversion program. Once we sign that, I give them other forms and let them know about the fine fee. And I also explain to them that the fine fee does not actually come to the court. It goes to all of our community partners. A piece of the fine fee is divided amongst our community partners. I think the families really, really are all in when they hear that. I give the child a chance. It is important for us to listen to the child and how they feel and why and how they got involved in some form of conflict. So the child, I let them speak, and then we go into the sanctions, giving them sanctions such as writing assignments. And the writing assignment could consist of how do you deal with challenges? How should you deal with challenges when you're faced with, how should you deal with these incidents when you're faced with challenges? Because we know our young people, because we're dealing with kids from 10 years old to 17. And when I say 17, the child actually committed the offense at 16, they turned 17. But we want the child to understand, how do they deal with these challenges instead of fighting. So we go over some things of what they could have done better not to get involved actually in an incident. We all agree upon that. After the child, after the child explains what it is he or she has done, we then go into, okay, let's assign these sanctions. And when we assign the sanctions are assigned based upon the offense. We are not just giving children a willy-nilly assignment. We are actually pairing these assignments to the offense. In addition, it's important for our children to participate in community service. And why? Because we love living in DeKalb County. We love our county, and our children need to understand that they must protect their county. They must do well in this county, and they will come back and be productive citizens in this county. So they participate in community service. Mr. Williams has a gamut of community service partnerships which our children could participate in, and we assign them a community service along with those sanctions, along with the fine fee. Next, we go into our informal supervision for 90 days, up to 90 days. You may ask, can a child's case go past 90 days? No. But can a child's case be dismissed before 90 days? Yes. It is some instances where children do real well where I will dismiss their case. But we want to make sure they understand what it is that they have done and not just dismiss cases just because. Our youth must check in weekly with their assigned panel member. I'm an assigned person also, as well as my panel members. And what we do is we supervise children through this 5 to 10 minute phone call weekly. We do not call children, they call us. They're given a date they're supposed to report, and they call us weekly. And we don't talk about the offense anymore. That's behind us. We talk about the things they can do that's going to help them to become better people. So that's what we do here with the Youth Diversion Program. It is all about supervision and meeting these deadlines of turning in assignments, then participating in community service. It helps the child to become better. We see where our children become better. Their grades go up in school. Sometimes we see kids where they're failing and then they turn to AB students just because of this 5 to 10 minute conversation we're having weekly. As I stated, when they successfully complete this program, I then send information over to the clerk office to dismiss this case, and the clerk office sealed the case. Their public record is then sealed with the DeKalb County Juvenile Court, and those who do not successfully complete the program, I send it to my supervisor, and then she send the case formal back to the DA's office for non-compliance. And that's what we do here in the Youth Diversion Program.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Charmaine Brown, for that information relating to the Youth Diversion Program. Inside of our chat, we do have a Q&A. Please go ahead and post your questions inside of the Q&A for Charmaine or any of our panelists so that we can get those questions answered for you. Here at the municipal court, we oftentimes transfer cases to the juvenile court. So I hear Ms. Charmaine, she let us know that, hey, the majority of our cases are coming from the school. However, cases do come outside of our public school systems into the juvenile court from our courts. Here in the state of Georgia, the municipal courts are on the trial level. And so our jurisdiction includes traffic court cases and also ordinance cases, which may target our youth. Here in Georgia, juvenile truancy is actually a law that targets the youth, and we do see that with Georgia misdemeanors and also with county ordinances. Here at the municipal court level, of course, your juveniles, your youth may have a driver's license, right? So at the age of 16, 15 years old, if they are cited with some type of traffic violation, we automatically transfer our juvenile cases to the juvenile court clerk's office. In addition to that, we also receive ordinances. So if there is a case of disorderly conduct, maybe a curfew violation or something in which it is a violation of our city ordinance, those are often cited here within our municipal court, and we do transfer those over again to the juvenile court. So I just wanted to add that to the conversation. Now, I see that we do have one question from Lakeisha Baker. Thank you, Lakeisha, for being here. Hello, Charmaine. How acceptable are the children when being referred to the youth diversion program?
They are very acceptable because when children hear that this case is going to be dismissed in the end and sealed, they are all on board. The majority, we do have a few kids where it's hard to get on track because also we need parental involvement in order to help get their children. And I didn't say one thing. Parents have to be all in with this youth diversion program. So it's myself, the parent, and the child, and our panel member who is working together to get the child through this program. So our children, like I said, are acceptable. And we see them open up. They begin to open up about 3 weeks into and they go from non-speaking, at that check-in to just telling us all about what they have going on in their day and how well they're doing.
All right, fantastic. Great question, Lakeisha. So on the screen, we do have the contact information of Charmaine P. Brown. Email is spbrown@dekalbcountyga.gov. And you all can reach her at the office 404-294-2959 and also at work at 404-275-6321. We are going to move right along here to the Smart Girls presentation. Let's go ahead and get started with our next panelist.
Hello, again, like I said, my name is Aisha Paraham. I am over the Smart Girls program. Smart Girls is a federally funded grant program that stands for Strong, Motivated, Achieving, Responsible, Trend-Setting Girls. The program is here to support at-risk girls ages 12 to 17 that are involved in the juvenile justice system. Our goal is to reduce risk factors and help them figure out what they want to do in life so that they can move forward and contribute to society. The Smart Girls program is divided into 7 phases, each targeting a specific aspect of growth and development, which can be anything from empowerment to motivation to job readiness to nutrition. Our classes, we have healthy relationship, emotional, spiritual, which is the girls really enjoy it because we do yoga and meditation and breathing, which can help them learn how to center themselves and understand their emotions. We also do what's called pro socials that are supposed to add to their educational learning. So we do classworks on Monday and Tuesdays, and then we do pro socials on the weekends where it could be anything from equine training, which is with the horses, or we can do yoga. We do have some activities for the summer where we're doing family engagements, camping, and hiking with the parents and the kids. So we have 2 tracks. Our first track is informal. So this would be anything like unruly charges, truancy charges, where the kids are on informal probation for 90 days. They will complete 2 ongoing classes and Saturday workshops and 1 community service activity where they can earn community service hours. The second track is for youth that are on formal probation. They will again attend ongoing programs, Saturday workshops, and 3 community service activities. Now, once the girls complete the programs, they are able to come back and be peer leaders, which has been good for a lot of the girls to do peer leadership and give back to the other girls that are coming through the program. So any questions?
All right, so Aisha, thank you so much for your presentation. We do have one question relating to peer mediators. Tell us a little bit about the definition or how is a smart girl defined as a peer leader? What does that look like?
So once they complete the program, they can come back as a peer leader because a lot of times building that rapport with the new girls is kind of hard. So they kind of come in and assist in letting the girls know like, hey, this is a safe space. You can talk, you can feel comfortable in this classroom, and they kind of help the facilitators because they know the facilitators and they know me. So they're able to help the girls and guide them through, the conversation so that the girls will open up to the facilitator and open up to me and my caseworker a little bit faster so that we can get to know them and help them out.
Okay, and we do have a question for you inside of the chat, and then I want to go back to Charmaine. We have a second question for her. So we're going to start with you, Aisha. Are volunteers accepted for the Smart Girls program?
Yes.
And how may someone get information to volunteer?
Well, first they would have to contact me and then they would have to go through the whole vetting process, which would be the background check, and all of fingerprinting and all of that. And then we would, of course, have them on as volunteers.
Okay, awesome. And just to share a little bit about my experience, because if you're not in DeKalb County, 159 counties in the state of Georgia, we have juvenile courts throughout every single one of these counties. I myself have volunteered since 2017 as a juvenile court mentor in Rockdale County, and it has been fantastic. Some Saturdays I spend creating vision boards with the young girls, which are my passion to mentor to young girls. So I certainly appreciate that question. And I do hope that you do reach out to Aisha to get more information as to how you can volunteer here in DeKalb County for the Smart Girls program. Before we leave this screen here, I want to make sure that everyone has Aisha's contact information, and then we're going to go back to Charmaine. So if you all want to ask additional questions or to volunteer for the Smart Girls program, do reach out to Aisha Paraham, Juvenile Program Administrator, again, here in the DeKalb County Juvenile Court. Her direct cell phone number is 470-576-0663. And she may also be reached via email, first initial last name at DeKalbCountyGA.gov. Thank you so much, Ms. Aisha. I want to go back to our Q&A. Charmaine, we have a question for you relating to the YDP.
Okay.
If the children get in trouble while in the program, are they automatically dropped?
Okay, that has happened. Very, very few children have actually come back through the court. I want to mention that. I've had individuals who have gotten in trouble, and what the attorney did, our attorneys within the court asked, could the child finish the program? They were near finishing, and what I believe, reason why they wanted to show that, because they want to show the judge that they actually finished a program successful. But some cases will trump my program, and it will be no more youth diversion, to be honest. But if they're close to finishing, I am willing to assist that child in completing that process. But as I stated, with some of the offenses, it could just knock them right out of the youth diversion program. And also, I want to say something, Ms. Minor. I'm looking for volunteers too to participate with the youth diversion program. It's a great program, and believe me, the mentors who are with us in our program, they love it. We love it. I love them. I mean, and our youth love them. So I too am looking for volunteers.
Hey, thank you so much, Charmaine. Look out for my application as well.
Yes, thank you. I was hoping so.
So next, we will move right along here to our CAP program, CAP.
All right, good afternoon again. My name is Waylon Jones. I am the JPA over the CAP program. So the CAP program, we get our funding from the incentive grant. And I'm not going to read verbatim, but the goal is just to have a more effective juvenile system. The CJCC offers this funding for local juvenile justice projects that aim to reduce the number of youth served out of the home. The major component the major goal of the whole program is just to reduce recidivism. Okay, so the CAP program is a five-phase intervention. It's designed to target youth ages between 13 and 17 through a court order who will normally be sentenced to short-term treatment programs or pending commitment to the Department of Juvenile Justice. So, for instance, any youth that takes weapons to school, that are expelled, any kind of SB 440s or youth that are charged as adults, they are kicked back to the juvenile court. They are normally have two options. It's either come to the CAP program, which stands for Commitment Alternative Program, or be committed to the Department of Juvenile Justice, which is DJJ. So if they are given grace and uh, given to the CAP program, normally a youth would come in on the average of 12 to 18 months or 24 months, depending on what the crime is, the crime committed is. Um, Next slide, please. Okay, eligibility requirements, of course, 13 to 17. At the time, they'll be 16, of course, turn 17. We work with 17-year-olds. All CAP youth must have a PDRA score of 2 or higher. That's per grant requirements. Adjudicated for a delinquent felony offense or violation of probation. Basic commitment to DJJ. Family commitment to the program is very, very important. Important. If we don't have the family commitment to the program, we do not accept the youth in. And a current behavior health evaluation or psychological. That's very important as well because we are set up to treat behavior, um, do our best to reduce the recidivism, and treat some forms of mental health, but we are not a mental health program. So we want to make sure we're getting the right youth into the program. So that's why we ask for the psychologicals. So our goals: reduce felony commitments to DJJ and STP admissions into the DeKalb County by 25%, which we are doing. Increase the youth for evidence-based practices. We use 3 of them. We use TLCBT, which is a counseling service for the youth. We use family functional therapy, which is FFT, and we use T4C, which is thinking for a change. Our youth are given transportation to the court and from home. I'm sorry, to home and from home to the court to participate in our programs. So we make sure that we bridge the gap for them and meet them where they are. The programs normally last for an hour to 2 hours at the most. We don't want to overload them. We want to make sure that they are understanding the programs and keeping it. Uh, Another goal is to reduce annual secure confinement in DeKalb County, reduce the detention rate, and demonstrate a cost saving to Georgia citizens through provision of research-informed services to the youth in the juvenile justice system. If there are any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is on the screen, wjjjones@dekalbcountyga.gov. My phone number is 470-602-4117. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Waylon. Very informational pertaining to the Commitment Alternative Program. I do have one question. How many juveniles do we currently have in the CAP program being offered within your court?
Yes, ma'am. So right now we have a total of 20 youth. It is a small program. We take up to 40 youth at a time. Our goal is to serve normally around 55 to 60 on the year. But it's relatively small because the youth that come to us, they are a part of our intensive probation units. So they get around the clock services, aftercare. We make sure we see our youth maybe 3 to 4 times in a week. Just to make sure that they are being supervised properly, and we just want to suck all that time up to make sure they aren't reoffending. So sometimes youth can go on the radar and be reoffending and not necessarily get caught. So we want to make sure that we are in their face at all times and just being there to redirect any kind of behavior that may cause them to get off track all the way. So I did see a question from our court administrator, Mr. Denebo, right here. It said, can Can I tell what happens to a youth who are unable to complete the CAP program? Yes. So when you are unable to complete the CAP program, whether it's you don't want to participate in the programs, you reoffend, you're just not a good fit anymore. You are committed to the Department of Juvenile Justice, so you go back before your judge, your same charges that you had to put you into the CAP program, you're re-sentenced on them same charges, and then you're committed to the Department of Juvenile Justice, based off the charges.
All right, fantastic. And that is intense.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We do have one question inside of the chat for you, Mr. Whalen.
I'm
How
sorry.
successful are the youth with completing the program?
Looking back, so I've been doing this for about 8 years now. I was an intensive probation officer in the CAP program before I became the juvenile probation officer. JPA of the program. So in my time, around 75% completes the program, 7 out of 10, which is actually very, very high. I've had youth come in from Superior Court with armed robbery charges, came through, got their GED, got married while in the program, completed a technical degree at Atlanta Tech, and went on to do HVAC work. I've had youth come in and that now works at Honda. I have youth come in that have on that now works at Delta doing mechanic work on airplanes. So I have had a lot of successful youth come through on their last chance and actually do the best they could and make it work for them.
So not only intense, the CAP program is impactful. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much, Waylon Jones. Again, he can be reached at WJ Jones, DeKalbCountyGA.gov, 470-602-4177. Next, we will have a presentation pertaining to the Youth Build 2 program. Turning it over to Nathaniel Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Jones. I am the Juvenile Program Administrator of the Youth Build Program. I guess we just wanted to save the best for last. So I'm excited to tell you some information about the Youth Build Program. We're a community-based alternative education program for youth between the ages of 16 to 21. So we do serve youth that the court typically don't serve. We go all the way up to the age of 24. So if you're eligible to participate in our program, we take youth from 16 to 24, and I can go more into the eligibility criteria. A couple of the eligibility criteria is, first of all, like I said, you have to be between the ages of 16 to 24. You have to be out of school. Out of school meaning, either you graduated, we can take 17% of the total 53 kids that's allowed in the program. 17% of them could already have their high school diploma. Another criteria is that you dropped out or been kicked out of school for whatever reason. If you're a member of a low-income family, if you're in foster care, if you have formerly incarcerated or presently incarcerated parents, you'll be eligible for our program. So that covers the array of young people that will automatically be eligible for our program, including farm workers and migrant youth. Once we deem you eligible for the program, of course, you are TABE tested. We need for you to score at least a 9.0 in the reading and the math, because simply to be able to be successful in our program, you got to be able to read and write. All of the training programs that we have that I will go into later, they have a certification test at the end. So we don't want to set young people up that can't meet the minimum criteria in our reading and mathematics and knowing that they may not be successful in completing our program. So that's why we TABE test them in the beginning. If they don't score at least a 9.0 in the reading and the math, we do provide tutoring for them so we can possibly raise their scores so they would have an opportunity to participate in the program. They must be able to speak and read English fluently to be successful. And those are some of the things that, we require to be eligible to participate in the program. Next slide. Just to give a little process of the service that we offer from beginning to the end. Once you apply, you submit your application for the Youth Build program. With case managers and my job developer, along with myself, review the applications, and we call the youth in. Once they meet the basic requirements to be eligible for the program, we place them in a mental toughness program. The mental toughness program is a 2-week program where we try to separate the young people that are actually serious about making a change in their lives between the ones that, from the ones that maybe were coerced by their parents saying that, you have to be in this program and you got to do this. We want to make sure that the kids are totally bought in to getting into the program and making a difference in their lives. Because you have to remember, this is a volunteer program. No court orders are needed. No orders from the probation officers. This is strictly a volunteer program. So they can volunteer and they can also leave when they get ready. So we have to make sure for the on-site of the application process that we select young people that successfully complete the Mental Tough program. They have various activities that they have to complete. Everybody starts out with 100, a score of 100. And as the 2 weeks pass, day by day, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do, they stay at 100. If they're late, we subtract 10 points. If they don't complete an assignment, we subtract more points. If they don't participate in group activities, we subtract points. And at the end of the 2 weeks, if you don't have an 80 or higher, then you won't be able to go on to the next phase. If you do have an 80 or higher, those young people matriculate on to the program and they are official Youth Build participants. The reason why the mental toughness program is so vital to our program is because once these young people enter into the Youth Build program, there is no kicking them out. There is no, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you can't participate no more. Those are our kids. So we have to do everything that we can possibly do to encourage them to continue to participate. We have so many incentives that we offer in the program, like work experience where they can earn money. We have incentives for them, working on jobs for 3 to 6 to 9 months, keeping their jobs with retention. We have an array of incentives that we give youth to try to keep them engaged in the program. Once we get in, those youth that don't have their high school diploma, we enroll them right away in our GED program. I think our GED program that we offer here in the court is second to none. We have so many young people that have gotten their high school equivalency before their actual, graduation time. So it's amazing the work that's being done in the GED program. Within the Youth Build program, we're actually getting youth their high school diplomas. Once they complete their GED, they can enter into training, occupational vocational skills training, which consists of construction, IT, and hospitality. Those are 3 areas that we concentrate on. We have been very successful in the construction training aspect of it. One of the reasons because construction is a field that is very record friendly. They're not looking for a prototypical look. Some of our young people have extreme tattoos, extreme hairdos, wherever the way they feel that, they want to express themselves, but particularly in the construction field, that doesn't matter. If you can do the work and you have the certifications that's needed to be out there on the construction site, you're more than welcome. And we also have the healthcare field, which we concentrate on young people getting their CNA. After the training, we offer job readiness, make sure that these young people are ready to get a job and not only retain a job. We're not interested in just getting jobs for young people that, that didn't need our help. Working at Burger King and McDonald's is not a bad thing at all, but you wouldn't have to go to our program or go through our program to get those kind of jobs. So once they complete our program, we look for, very high paying wage jobs. They deserve it. They have their certifications in certain areas. And so those are the jobs that we're seeking to help our young people get. We also have mentoring. We have a mentoring program where we are pairing young people with professionals in the field of their interests, where they can shadow them, while they're actually going through the job readiness program, so they can be well aware of what's expected of them in their career fields, understanding what type of certifications they need. And the mentoring program, I'm very proud of. We do a very good job of screening people that say they want to be mentors. One thing I do not allow as a program administrator is to allow a mentor to come in and not be consistent, right? Because a lot of the mentors that come in, they're very present for a very short period of time and then they fall off. And that's not what we need for our kids, because a lot of the kids that we serve, they're used to being, disappointed time and time again. So we really look for mentors that's going to be committed to our young people and seeing them all the way through. And at the end, being that we are a Department of Labor federal funded grant, it's all about jobs. So if we're not connecting young people with jobs, we're not fulfilling our mission at all. At the end of the day, with all the other services we offer, at the end of the day, we have to find them gainful employment. After employment, we follow up with them for 12 months to make sure that they're good. If they need assistance, if they lose their job, we try to help them find another job. While they're on the job, if they're having some issues adjusting, our job developer is contacting their supervisors, being a support system for the young people while they're working to try to keep them there. So we follow up with them for 12 months before they actually are considered exited out of. Next slide. And that's all I have.
All right. Fantastic, Nathaniel. I'm hearing that reading is fundamental, and
Yes.
your program relies heavily on ensuring that those individuals within the program can read. I mean, there's no way that you can be successful in the program or in life without knowing how to read. So that's very important. Inside of the chat, we do have one question for you. Is youth bill affected by the federal government courts cuts? And if so, what can a citizens do about it?
Absolutely, we're being affected. We're currently being affected. There's been a huge layoff in the Department of Labor, and federal grants such as the youth bill grants are in jeopardy. So I would recommend that we will, contact our local public officials, our governor, our commissioners, legislation, anybody in the House that we could connect to let them know that programs like this is needed. When I first took on the youth bill program 7 years ago, there were only 2 youth bill programs in the state of Georgia, and that was in Decatur and in Macon. And since then, Atlanta have gotten a youth build program, and I think there is 2 others. So, I think the youth build program is one of the best programs in the country. It has been around for over 70-something years, and I just think we need to let our local elected officials know how important grants like these are to help serve our kids. So a lot of people think the only thing that we do here in juvenile court is to lock kids up, but we have a array of beautiful programs that help kids with recidivism and help them with gaining training and employment, and those are the things that really needs to get out to the public.
Awesome. We have a second question, Nathaniel, inside of the chat.
True.
Does the federal government cuts limit the amount of youth that can enroll in this program?
It does. It does. It can be cut from we were serving 53 youth. It can be cut from 53 to 30. Or it can be cut from 53 to 0, where a program is not, funded again. So, I'm in communication with youth build programs across the country, and there was one particular program in the great state of Virginia that, performed extremely well with outcomes, and they closed their doors to the youth build program 2 weeks ago. So it's not about performance. Um, it's about just cuts across the country and federal grants.
All right, thank you so much. If
Mhm.
you all need to contact Nathaniel Jones further, or when you contact your local representative, make sure you let them know that Nathaniel sent you.
Yes, yes,
Juvenile Program
yes.
Administrator, DeKalb County Juvenile Court. Telephone number is 404-294-2414. Email is nrjones@DeKalbCountyGA.gov. That wraps up our presentation. I see that we have a last slide here. On behalf of the DeKalb County Juvenile Court, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your presence and attention. Your engagement and support are invaluable as we work collectively to ensure safe futures for DeKalb County youth. We so appreciate that, you all. I am going to go ahead and open up the second poll before we close out. We will have closing remarks by DeKalb County Juvenile Court Administrator. So let's go ahead and launch the second poll. What do you think is the most significant barrier facing youth in our community today? Is it the lack of educational programs, limited mental health support, poverty and financial challenges, insufficient community programs? What do you think is the most significant barrier facing youth in our community today? We are almost at 100%, and I definitely want to lean on our panelists to go through our panel and allow each of you to answer this question as we get the poll results here. All right, so we have 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and share the results here. So at 50% insufficient community programs, 42% poverty and financial challenges, 8% lack of educational opportunities. So I want to lean on all of our panelists today and to let me know. Let me share these results with you all. To get your thoughts on these poll results here, we'll first start with Aisha, Charmaine, Waylon, and Nathaniel.
I will say that a lot of the families that come into are dealing with the poverty and financial problems where they are displaced. They do not have stable housing, and it affects the kids going to school and coming even to the program when we provide transportation. So I will say that. Charmaine, you want to go?
Yes, do believe that it's insufficient community programs as well as poverty and financial challenges. Trying to get out to the community, what we do here at the court is very important. We have so many running programs we have positive outcomes, and we need our community to know the work that we are doing at the court and that we need their assistance when it comes to our youth. Like I stated, our community does not always know. They think we're just locking children up, and that is not the case. As Mr. Jones said, we are doing great work here at the court, but we need our community partners on board to help our youth get jobs and stable housing, help with food insecurities, help with mental health. We need our community to understand what our families are going through.
I would say it's poverty and financial challenges. Of course, it can be any of these things, but when you look at the community that majority of our youth come from is poverty-stricken and financial challenges, just about in every home. The parents are burnt out with the youth. They are more focused on how to make ends meet than what my youth is doing, what my child is doing in school, or what he's doing outside. I don't have time to run behind him. I got to pay the rent. So I would hope that, things would change for majority of my families, but we have to be realistic about the times we're in right now. Rent is going up everywhere. So with the poverty and financial challenges, you see the same thing pour right into the school zones and the schools they're in. So you become a product of your environment. So even with the CAP program, we try to um, our best to just reshape the youth, even though he's returning back to the same environment when he goes home. So yeah, that's my answer.
Well, I definitely am not surprised by the results in insufficient community programs and poverty and financial challenges, but I am very surprised about the limited mental health support. Um, the population that I work with, they experience trauma and don't even know that it's trauma. You know, my homeboy got killed yesterday, and it's just like a matter of fact, right? Like I'm so used to this happening till it doesn't really affect me, and they do not even realize how much that do affects them. Um, my family is moving. We've moved like 5 or 6 times in the last couple of months. That's trauma, and they don't even understand that they're actually going through trauma. I'm carrying a gun every day because I don't want my ops to get me. That's trauma. So a lot of things that we've normalized in our community, we don't even address the real issues and what it causes within our household. So I was just a little surprised about, the poll that did not mention any mental health, because that's something that we really need more of in our community to address what our young people are going through. I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
All right, we appreciate your 2 cents and the 2 cents from everyone here today. I hope that our conversation and presentation is going to spark conversation and action that will result in meaningful change in our community. So no matter what county you're in, DeKalb County, Rockdale County, Fulton County, we need you and we need your help and we need your support. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our DeKalb County Court Administrator for final words.
Once again, thank you, Ms. Manor, for this partnership. I want to take a moment to say thank you to our staff and the citizens that dialed in today. This is an opportunity for you to get closer to your DeKalb County Juvenile Court. We want to let you know that we're a very friendly court. You don't have to wait till your child or your grandchild gets in trouble before you can access services from DeKalb County Juvenile Court. You can all reach out to any one of these wonderful staff that you've gotten a chance to meet today to access services from DeKalb County Juvenile Court. And I hope that this is the beginning of many more series that will kind of bridge the gap between the court and the citizens of DeKalb County. Just on behalf of our Chief Judge, Judge Tamika Murray, I want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to showcase what we do in DeKalb County Juvenile Court. And I hope to see you next time.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day, and we shall see you all again for some additional educational webinars. Thank y'all so much for attending.